camera on. They can hear you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Claire Cooley. This is the Creativity Show. And today I'm going to be doing more painting in front of you. This is Cloud Child, and I'm very excited to work on it. I love to go into the creative meditation mode, and it's taken me a while to relax and be able to talk to you and be in my sanctuary of creative reverie at the same time, but I'm beginning to be able to relax and just be myself in front of you and with you in these virtual visits. So today I want to start with thanking the Minnesota State Arts Board for this grant to illustrate my life stories, and what a challenging and inspiring thing it is. I've always painted, drawn, been inspired by nature, so to tell my own story with images has been, it was very intimidating, but now I'm really enjoying it. And I want to start with showing art to wear. This is an outfit I did, painted with my stencils, and I love to take used store clothes, finds, pollinator prints.
Let's see the one on the blouse, on the front of the blouse.
That's a warbler, and we have some on this side. Oh yes, hummingbird. So this is the pollinator series that's on this silk outfit that I got at a used store. So I love to create and recreate and use what I have to hopefully make beautiful things and jewelry and wardrobes. So I love to share it, that we can enhance our lives with our own imaginations, with whatever we have to work with. So let's start with showing the painting that is very close to done. I take what I call objectivity breaks so that I don't overwork things. Oops. But I stop when they're done, hopefully, and move on to the next thing, which is not always easy. I'm showing this gold that has 73 different words for love on this first piece, which I may title this piece Primordial Potential. And the fetus in the gold orb in this early universe that was helium and hydrogen gases before things coalesced into the dust particles into solid, and then eventually light, and all these different languages, 73 of them for love. I counted them after I did them, just following my instincts, and there were 72, and I said, well, I'm 73, so it's appropriate that there be 73 on there, so I did that.
So the reason you're moving that light around is to demonstrate that the gold is reflectant and shine, and depending on the angle of the light, you get different views. So yeah, hold the light off to the side so we can just see the art without the light in front of it. Yeah, and then point the light at the art. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, so I love these golden acrylics, which we have in the link, right? In, what do you call that?
Yeah, in the affiliate links. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, go down into the description and you'll see the affiliate links for all the different materials that she uses, and that will take you to Amazon.
And I love how these reflectant paints change with the lighting, and so we keep seeing different things. I love that. It's mysterious and wonderful. So the other thing I wanted to say today was, in my youth, I never wore color or jewelry. I didn't wear any clothes that showed the shapes of my bodies. But now that I'm 73, I'm okay to show my legs and I'm okay to show my shapes. And there's different beauty at different ages. And the beauty at my age, hopefully, is the beauty that comes from within and is expressed through what we do with our lives. And what I try to do with my life is use what I have to heal myself, help others, and make the more harmony, influence more harmony in the world by portraying the beauty of nature. So I love the beauty of this age, and it made me sad to hear Helen Mirren asked if she thought she was beautiful, and she said no. And I'm like, no, of course she's beautiful. She's just a different beauty than youthful beauty, which we don't necessarily shouldn't take any pride in being beautiful when we're young. That's the way it is. But if we remain loving, hopeful, positive, we should have pride in that. And the older we get, if we maintain that, the more pride we should have. So instead of being less beautiful because I'm 73 than I was when I was 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, I'm more beautiful because I haven't given up on my dreams, which is to live a good life. So there you go. That's enough of that. Now let's get to painting. Unless there's a question you want to start with.
If you have one, go for it.
People?
All right. Let's see. I will turn on the overhead camera as well.
Yes, and I was meaning if there's any questions that came in. What did I have to walk over here to get my paint brushes? There they are.
Oh yeah.
Show the 1 minute of the way I set up.
I was behind the camera, so I couldn't see any questions that came in because it doesn't go through the camera. But yeah, there's a question. What kind of paintbrushes do you use?
Oh, well, good timing for that question. All kinds. Let's see, here's a stencil brush. When I'm doing stenciling, it's a very different stiff bristle. And then all kinds of different sizes, which I got out because what I'm going to do with these 15 feathers around the cloud child is try to use all the colors. Color is a natural mood elevator, and especially when we had our first dusting of snow this morning and we're thinking about stick season and the monochromatic. Often winter, I like to know that I can bring color into my life just by painting with it, drawing with it, sewing with it, many different ways. This is a print of feathers that I got out to look at during thinking about doing these 15 different feathers. The original is right over there on the wall, but the camera's facing this way, so we'll show it to you this way. It's behind plastic, so hopefully it's not too...
It's working.
Great. All right, so this is a drawing done with Prismacolor pencils, which I give myself permission to use mixed media, and I probably will, but I never know till I get there. Meaning I'm going to start with watercolor right now, and then I may put in some fine lines with Prismacolor pencil, which is water soluble, and they're a great mix, watercolor and water soluble Prismacolor pencils. So Bo, I'd like you to show the little 1 minute we did of putting out the colors, if you would be so kind.
All right, that's going to take me just a few minutes.
A few minutes? Okay.
Maybe 1 minute.
Okay, so I'll keep talking, and what I'm going to do is just drip little bits of paint with my little pitcher into these palette plates that you're going to see. I use a pizza tray as my palette.
Okay, this is ready. You wanted to show the pizza tray video?
Yes, I can keep talking, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get it going, so you keep talking.
All right, so I use this pizza tray for these different color palettes, and so it takes up as little space as possible because they're stacked on top of each other, which you're going to see in a second.
It's showing.
Okay, and there's my I call this the true entertainment, our imagination cabinet. It used to have a VCR, like, when Bodie was a little boy. Now it has all my art supplies organized in different drawers. It not only has the paints, the pencils, the inks, carving tools, but musical instruments and design equipment for when I design stationery or cards or books. So it pretty much has writing, audio art, visual art, and everything I need for all those different artistic expressions. So there's the pizza tray that then I put out on these stools, which you can see. And with these 7 stools, I guess it's 6 stools, I have all these colors right here, close at hand, not far away from the work I'm doing, so I can be efficient with the creativity, the time it takes to go get the color. It's all right here. And I love watercolor because besides that it flows and water, it dries and then you can rehydrate it. You don't waste it. Acrylics, if you let it dry, then you can't rehydrate it. So I prefer watercolor for those reasons, but I don't, I'm not prejudiced against acrylics or oil paints. I don't like the smell of oil paints. And I often, with this long winter, will work in an enclosed space, so I don't think that the fumes are good for us. So, so I use watercolor as much as possible and the others as little as possible. All right, I'm ready to start painting on this. If
Ready.
Ready. Great. So I have all these different sizes, and then I'm going to just pick, without thinking about it too much, just pick the color I want. But first, I paint with water, and then I add the color. So in order not to mess things up, I'm going to I start in one place and then try not to, of course, go over that and smear it. So there's all that needs. So I'm just going to go for, deep color for that.
Okay, so both camera perspectives, you're out of the frame. feel free to check your framing. So I switched to just one camera perspective.
The coming down camera?
The one that's showing on the computer.
Okay, I can't look at it and this at the same time.
Gotcha.
So you could just tell me.
I'll do this one. I'll come out here and move the camera around. So we got another question. What colors are you going to use for the feathers?
Well, kind of the only thing I know is as many as possible. And so I'm just gonna go with my instincts and I'm gonna let that one be, and I'm gonna move to the next feather, which I am painting with water first in these very faint lines that I put on this paper. And then I'm going to add color. And I'm just going to try to make it as colorful as possible without losing grace. So now we're going to go for, I'd say, green next. So I'm going to take this green and the camera angle's working now.
Yeah. So, and then what you can do is put your hand in the frame and while you're looking at the computer.
Good.
Here's what I'm going to do, everybody. I'm going to get this camera a bit closer so I have a nicer view of the art. Since the overhead camera is not really going to get it.
It's not helping.
Well, it's nowhere near as easy to reposition that one as it is this one.
And in nature, the random harmony of nature is nature can combine any colors and pull it off. So I'm going to give myself permission, but I have a policy of trying not to lose the light, meaning go gently, build slowly, because if you put too much in, it can lose its grace. I had us lower this table, but now I see that it was at the right place before, but you know, art is a process, and bit by bit we get what works for us set up. So I'm gonna raise this table up for the next live stream, before the next live stream. So I don't have to bend over because that's not great posture or comfortable. All right, now we're gonna go for, I want yellow now. I want yellow, that's what I want. Very seldom in life do we really get just what we want, so that's part of the reason I love art. If I want yellow, I can have it.
It's a rainbow of feathers.
the full spectrum of life, all the colors, and I love thinking about that scientific, the measure of the health of any environment is diversity. And I believe it's true, especially with human beings. And one of my most treasured experiences was skate dancing in Golden Gate Park, because there was every sort of person, all kinds of nationalities and types of people out there, and such diversity, and the only thing that wasn't tolerated was disrespectful behavior, and everything else was fine. And I love that, and it is healthy. And people can be afraid of anyone or anything that's different just because it's different, but the truth is we're all different. Even if we try to act like we think others want us to, the same as the status quo, we're still different. And the more we share our uniqueness, the richer the world becomes. Now I'm starting instinctively with one color per feather, but doesn't mean I'm going to stay there. I can do whatever I want because it's my art, and I'm free to do that. So we'll see what I do next. I love what Kay Lukanen, a dear friend many years ago, said. I love living alone. I never know what I'm going to do next. I thought that was really beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go for this big guy. He's going to have some deep blue. He's not necessarily going to be all one color. Not sure why this feather's a he, but I love that little swimminess in there. It's like watercolor painting is like dancing with water. Now I'm going to turn so I don't lay across that one.
Yeah, I think it's looking really good. So, what are your thoughts on, like, how far do you think ahead? Like, do you know what you really want this to look like when it's done, or are you kind of finding it as you go?
The only thing that seems to be a constant in the way I compose art is the feeling I want. And it's the same whether it's writing, painting, dancing, playing the flute, designing home decor. The feeling is what I follow. And the feeling here is it's Cloud Child, and resting in this support of the mysterious sky, somehow no, totally supported, even though this child is sleeping on a cloud, they're at peace. So bright, peaceful, that's the feeling I want. And that's the only thing I decide beforehand is the feeling. So I want it to be peaceful and happy. Bright is a bright piece, I would say. So every color, I'm getting a different brush so I don't contaminate. And this color, I want to be different than any of these colors are, so I'm mixing it a little bit in this bowl that I always have to do that in my paint trays here.
Is there a medium you find to be more enjoyable to work with? Like, what's your favorite medium?
Depends on my mood. Are you talking visual art?
I meant painting specifically.
Well, watercolor and I are very aligned in that it flows and it has its own properties and principles that are not necessarily totally predictable, but very, they have, watercolor has an elegance, a simplicity, a gentleness that I'm really attracted to, and you got to go with it, like dance or playing my bamboo flute. Whatever comes out, you have to make part of the composition, the choreography. You can't control it necessarily, you can guide it, and that's my favorite. I also do like the delicacy of Prismacolor pencils, that they can be so precise and you can get such delicate lines with them, so there are times I like that. There are times for that, and I like pastels. They are very, they're like drawing with powder. There's oil pastels too, but there's the ones that I've done work with. And pen and ink was my first. Sumi. Sometimes I have to look at the color because I get so many colors going. Sumi brushstroke was my first. Now we're going for some more green, but we're going to add some yellow to it. So we're going to do that in here. Take a little bit of the yellow so we don't pollute that yellow brush. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Kind of a Springer green. Are there any questions that came in last week that I didn't get to answer?
Let me pull that up. On YouTube, someone asked, do you know the other illustrations that you're going to be doing for this series? Or are you making it up one at a time?
I have an kind of an overview, but I allow, bless you, bless you, but I allow myself to let it change. But I do sort of have an overview of important, maybe visual epiphanies in my life that I think would make good subject matter that could be visual metaphors for my life story. And I'm kind of starting at the beginning with the fetus and now the cloud child. And then the next one is going to be a toddler. And so I'm going, the only thing that's sort of predictable is I'm sort of starting at the beginning. Otherwise, it has no structure and form. And I have written a list with basic description of what I think the paintings should be. But I like to leave the actually composing them as an adventure I'm yet to go on. So we'll see when we get there. And that's about that. I'm going to put a little bit of orange into this yellow. The only thing I feel like it's doing is not repeating colors. That's a lot of orange. So we're gonna boy, that's a brightie. So I'm going to use another brush.
And you got a question on YouTube about, I read it when I was in there, so excuse me if I'm paraphrasing, but basically somebody recognizes the images on your outfit. Are those from a painting you've done?
Yes, I did 7 pollinators, a series of 7 pollinators, and one of them, the monarch,
Which is on your back.
right, was the pollinator print of the year for Pheasants Forever. Pheasants Forever? Was that what that magazine was called?
Yes. Yep. Pheasants Forever Pollinator Print of the Year. So yeah, you actually took your illustrations, paintings, and then you turned them into stencils, and they're the same composition as the painting. So then you were able to stencil them onto your outfit. And these stencils that you've done on your outfit have a lot of color and dimension. So they look like they're, hand painted because you took the extra time to add in more detail and more variation in the color. But they started with the stencil.
Yes, the stencil was the beginning, and then I built hand doing, so each time I would do it, it would be different with hand detailing.
For example, adding in feathers or variations in the color of the stems on the flower, the leaves, petals rather.
Right. Which, like, one of my pencil drawings that I did for a poster when I was asked to conceive of and direct a performance piece for the Napa Valley Arts Council, then became the cover of my book. So you know, one thing turns into another with art, with life. Okay. Now we're gonna see where this guy, who this guy wants to be. And I think this guy wants to be a purple. Different kind of purple than that was. So let's see. Nope, it's too much like that one. Let's get a little of that, a little of that, and see what we get there. Maybe we're going to add some blue. That might make it what I need it to be. Oh. And as I said before, just because I'm using one color now does not mean I'm not going to add, you know, 2 or 3 colors to any one feather, whatever feels right. So we'll see what feels, huh?
Nice.
And how we doing? As Bodhi said last time, when the watercolor time flies when the watercolor flows. So I have no idea about time, so you could keep me.
12:38.
Do we have time to do some more?
Yeah.
We do. Good. Here's our next color. It's going to go down here. It's going to go on this one. And part of the thing that makes this cloud child so peaceful and able to rest is there's all this diversity. There's so many different possibilities with all these different colors. And
So another question is, how long have you been making art?
I'd say my first art that I remember making was seed dance. It was a choreography of a seed blooming, and my mother asked me to share it with some friends that came over that sat quietly on the couch and let me come out and get into my seed shape and bloom extremely slowly, and they were so sweet and patient. And I was probably 3, so that would mean 70 years. But I do think I was dreaming creatively, like all children, I believe most children, before that. So, 73 years, maybe we're dreaming in the womb. Maybe that's why the first painting in this series is a fetus. I'm going to add a little. This one's going to get a little second color because it just needed it.
Speaking of color, what are your favorite color combinations?
I really love every color, and there's some beautiful contrast, and so, boy, if I had to pick a favorite color or favorite combination, it'd just be the mood I'm in at the moment. So let's see, what would be my favorite color combination at this moment? Oh, wow, well, I guess it'd be orange and yellow. And then 10 seconds from now when I'm doing this one, maybe it'll be whatever that one is. I love every color. I love every animal. I have trouble wanting to cuddle slugs, but other than that, they're just loving me. So, you know, I'm not proud that I.
Well, you got a lot of yellow in this painting already.
Which is interesting in that it's a contrast to blue, which is what the sky is.
Yeah.
So, opposites on the color wheel often are very pleasing contrast. I'm gonna do it. It's all right. I can do it.
So when you're painting with water, it's like you're imagining what's going to be coming next, huh?
You're just given the place for the water. The water is giving a place for the pigment to flow into. And I find it really magic when we get there to the flowing of the water into it. And that one, okay, we're going to go for a different blue. That's what we're going to do. A different blue, meaning it's going to have that turned into a real purple, so we're gonna get some more blue in that. Oh, that's a blue.
Claire Boisano said, coming along nicely. I like the way you painted the water. I believe what we were just discussing, the painting the clear water into the feathers.
Right.
That was Claire Boisano on Facebook.
Hi, Claire. Nice to know you're there. I love feeling connected to you.
How you doing, Claire? Two Claires. That's pretty funny.
She's an artist too. Okay, now we're going to give that a lot more purple so it's distinct from that guy.
Ooh, yeah. And then so the watercolor just flows into that water that you painted in there. The water creates the reservoir for the pigment to flow into, and it's invisible until the pigment flows into it generally. So
That's an interesting. Now I'm going to do something different here just because I feel like it. And that's what we get to do, which is...
Claire said, love you, doing great.
Great. Love you back. Now, this one. Need some purple, blue, green choices in that.
Nice.
I'm going to let that settle and come back to it later. Moving on.
Is that challenging to let it settle, to not keep fussing and futzing?
It can be, yes. And it's what my mother, consummately trained in a museum school, fine art degree, had all the techniques and all the academic education. She said, worked in studios after she got her fine art degree. And she said, most artists overdo their work. You stop when it's done. And one of the things that being self-taught, even though she exposed me to a lot of art, she never told me what to think and how to do it. She let me discover my own way, and she said, most artists overwork their stuff. You stop when it's done. And when I'm not sure, kind of like relationships, I'm not sure somebody's really on my side or has my best interest at heart, or I'm not sure what I'm feeling, I just step back. Get objectivity, same with art. And instead of keeping going, I step back. And I think allows me a lot of the time not to overdo and take the light out of things. Just leave it alone, work on something else, come back when I have some clarity.
Nice. Claire Boisano said that Pete was doing a race in Santa Barbara today, and that's why she's late tuning in.
Good. Well, I hope he wins whatever trophy he wants from the race, whatever makes him feel good. And thanks for tuning in, and don't worry about being later on time. This is supposed to be fun for all of us, so if you can't see it live, you can always see it later. And cool. All right, I want some light blue. That's what I want. So we're gonna do that. And we're saving this big feather for last.
And I asked, how did it go? And he said, great. He came in second in his age group, just under 2 hours for a half marathon.
Wow.
Congratulations, Pete. That's awesome.
I talk about the beauty of that age is he gets to keep going and keep challenging himself and keep fulfilling that dream of running. And
That's wonderful.
what happens if I add some? It's great. It's what matters, is that we keep going for our dreams and not give up on them.
So we got another question is, what do you do when you've made a mistake on a piece?
It's only a mistake if we decide it's a mistake. And honestly, that's our attitude. So go with it and turn it into, let it be what it wants to be. And one of my most popular pieces of art, Mama Bird, I've told this story before because it's very poignant for me. When I was painting, well, drawing, she was a drawing, I remember saying to her, "You look more like a pincushion than a bird." And she wasn't what I thought I wanted her to be at the time. But like I said, she's one of the most popular pieces I've done. So I might not have thought she was turning out good, and I might have stopped working on her if I hadn't made an agreement with myself that if I start something, I'm going to finish it. Whether I like it or not is not the determining factor. I started it. I'm not going to waste the paper, the pigment, the time. I'm going to keep going. And because I made that agreement with myself, I have a piece of art that many people have purchased and loved and appreciated, and including me now. I think it's very funny and poignant that I thought she was not successful at the time, and now I'm like, no, she's just something other than I had in my mind. So sometimes art can come from such a deep place we don't even recognize it's what it is until later. And so let it be what it is. All right, we're going to go for a light green on this little feather. And which means this green, oh, that's too much of that. Let's get us another brush. Okay, we got a different kind of green, but I like it. So I'm going to go for it. Instead of leaning across anything wet to do this big feather, I'm going to save it and call this time to step back, let things dry before going any further. And I may work on it before the Wednesday noon live stream, but I'll record the process so I can share it with you if I do that. And if I may finish it, the Cloud Child in front of you on the Wednesday live stream, that is highly likely that the feathers will be done, but I will record the process so you can see it on Wednesday, and I'll do the Cloud Child in front of you. But I think that's good for today.
That's fantastic. And I want to remind you guys, you can check out patreon.com/CLARE COOLEY. You can scan the QR code on the screen, take a screenshot, tap it. You can join for free, and it's basically her newsletter plus a whole bunch of goodies, including stencil designs and art, and a lot more items are coming. So check it out.
Yeah, eventually, instead of just the 18 flowers that are on my Patreon right now that members get for no extra fee, I'm going to continue to put out the 300 stencils that I've done, one at a time, and I'm catching up on that, preparing and doing these illustrations of my life story. Thanks for the grant, Minnesota State Arts Board. It's been a lot, and helping Bodie make his first, big episode with actors and 20 different people on the crew. So there's been a lot going on, but I'm ready now to get the stencils coming out more regularly for the Patreon members. And we're going to be releasing audio version of my memoir very soon. So lots going on, and we're grateful for you tuning in and telling others about it. And thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And hi, Claire, and hi to Pete, and love you guys. And look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. Thanks for your help, Bodie.
Happy